Hello, this is History Shorts with the Artifactual Scholar. Today, I'll be talking about the assassination of James A. Garfield. James Abram Garfield was elected President of the United States in November 1880. Prior to his election, Garfield had been a 9-term congressman from Ohio and had held the rank of Brigadier General during the Civil War. Garfield was inaugurated on March 4, 1881, becoming our 20th president. During the late 19th century, presidents and other elected officials often rewarded political supporters with patronage jobs within the civil service. Accordingly, many people expected rewards from the new president for their support and effort during his electoral campaign. Inevitably, some were disappointed. One such failed office seeker was Charles Guiteau, a mentally unstable drifter who had written a political pamphlet supporting Garfield. Guiteau believed that his support had been the reason for Garfield's election, and he expected to be rewarded with an ambassadorship. Of course, Guiteau was repeatedly rejected by the administration, and finally, he decided to kill the president. On the morning of July 2, 1881, Garfield, like many others, was preparing to escape the oppressive summers of Washington, D.C. by heading north, first to his alma mater, Williams College, then to the New Jersey shore. As the president passed through the lobby of the Baltimore and Potomac rail station, Guiteau stepped from the shadows and shot him twice in the back. The first bullet grazed the president's arm, but the second passed through his vertebrae and knocked him to the ground. A crowd of onlookers immediately set upon the would-be assassin, whose life was saved only by the intervention of a police officer. Meanwhile, the president, still alive and conscious, was comforted by others until a doctor arrived and administered brandy. Soon, another doctor, Dr. D.W. Bliss, one of the most renowned physicians in Washington, arrived and began to probe the wound, first with a metal implement, then with his finger, unsuccessfully searching for the bullet. Eventually, Garfield was returned to the White House for further treatment. As news of the assassination attempt spread, many doctors descended on Washington to offer their services to the president. At least 16 physicians would play a role in Garfield's care, all under the direction of Dr. Bliss, who had appointed himself as the president's doctor. Each doctor who examined Garfield tried to locate the bullet, using their fingers or non-sterile instruments, and unknowingly introducing germs into the president's wound. Soon, the relatively minor bullet wound became a seeping, pus-filled gash in the president's back. On at least one occasion, the doctors did try to use new technology to find the bullet. Alexander Graham Bell, inventor of the telephone, built a metal detector for the purpose of finding the projectile. But when it was used, it failed because of interference from the metal bed springs in the president's mattress. As the unrelenting summer heat and humidity settled over the nation's capital, Garfield began to weaken. Navy engineers devised a primitive air conditioning system to cool the president's room. Yet by September, the president's condition continued to worsen, and his doctors decided to move him to the New Jersey shore, where the cooler, less humid air was thought to have beneficial effects. The move to New Jersey had little effect on the ailing president. His weakened body, racked by pain and disease, soon gave out. James Garfield died at 10:35 p.m. on September 19, 1881, 80 days after he was shot and only 6 months into his presidency. Garfield's body was returned to Washington, where it lay in state in the Capitol building rotunda, before being brought to Cleveland, Ohio for burial on September 26, 1881. With Garfield's death, Vice President Chester A. Arthur became the 21st President of the United States. The assassin, Guiteau, was put on trial in November 1881. He was convicted of murder in January 1882 and executed by hanging in June. The tragic irony of Garfield's death is that the president was most likely killed by the ministrations of his doctors, and not by the bullet of the assassin. Had this event occurred a decade later, the result may have been different. This has been History Shorts. Thanks for watching.